Hi there, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts, and today's tutorial is going to be for this little Field of Daisies sun hat. That is the name of the square. It's called the Field of Daisies Square. You find it for free on yarnspirations.com. However, I also have previously done a video tutorial for this square, so you also can find the video tutorial for this in a link in the descriptions if you're seeing this on YouTube. So we're going to start today with 4 that are already made. You're going to want to make them 4 inches by 4 inches. I'm using Caron All Day Cotton for these. And I did size down a hook size. It asks for an H8 5mm hook, and I went down to the G, which is a 4mm hook. So 4 inches by 4 inches, and you need 4 of them for this size hat that really goes from about, maybe a year-old to a 2.5, 3-year-old. It fits about a 16, 17, almost 18-inch circumference head. So, because it kind of gets some stretch on that. And then you could always adjust to make the brim even bigger if you want to go just a little bit bigger. There will be another video tutorial. I want to show you this that I made. It's a little matching set. Have the little hat and a little swimsuit cover-up sundress. And this will be a separate video tutorial, and I also put the link to this if you want to make the dress too. So let's get started. Okay, this hat begins with a circle. So we're going to start right here with a magic ring, and I am using the opposite colors for this hat because I'm making the reverse for my other granddaughter. So I'm just beginning with a magic circle. So you lay your tail up towards the top there, and basically you just are making a slip knot that you just don't pull all the way through. So that's it. I just stop right there. Insert my hook into that loop, and I kind of just hang on to it right there. I'm going to chain right there, and we are going to work 10 half double crochets around that loop. Like I say, I'm using the smaller G hook. I really want this hat to be tight. It helps it be a little bit more stiff and sturdy. So we're going to work 10 half double crochets around that in that circle. Okay, so once you have your 10 half double crochets, you're going to go ahead and just pull that little tail, and it pulls through, and you tighten it right up. So just give it a little pull. All right. And then what we're going to do is join with a slip stitch to the very first half double crochet of the row, just like that. Go ahead and chain and stop right there. Now I am going to place a stitch marker on the last stitch that we made. That will help me know that that is the last stitch of the round, because we're not turning or anything. So I just chained 1. Now in that half double crochet of the first one that we just joined to, work 2 half double crochets. work 2 half double crochets into each stitch around for a total of 20 half double crochets. Okay, in the last marked space that you have, work your final 2. And if you've counted around, you should have 20 on this round. And go ahead and put your stitch marker back into that the 20th stitch there. That really helps us. So we're going to join to the first stitch of the round. You can see that chain 1 down there, and then this was the next stitch. But if you really want to count, make sure that you're, going to the first stitch. This one might be the chain. Let's double check. I like to count backwards too. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. Make sure you're joining to the first stitch of the round right there. And go ahead and chain 1. And now this time we'll just work 1 half double crochet into that very first, the same stitch that you joined to, and then work 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. So let's repeat that series around. We're going to work 1 into the next and then 2 into the next stitch. So it's a series of 3, and at the end of this round we should have 30. So we're increasing by 10. So go 1 and then work 2 into the next stitch. Okay, keep repeating that around. Okay, so in your last stitch of the round, we should be working 2 half double crochets, and that will be number 29 and 30. And then go ahead and join to the first stitch of the round. And I forgot to replace my stitch marker there. You also could place a stitch marker after the first stitch if you're having a hard time seeing which one is the first one you should join to. Okay, so now we are going to work 1 half double crochet in that first stitch that we joined to, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2. So it'll go 1, 1, 2. And at the end of this round, we should have 40. So keep track of your counts. After every round, we're increasing by 10. So 1, 1, and then 2 into the next one. Okay, I'll meet you back after this round. All right, so then be working stitch 39 and 40 into the last stitch. We've got 2 more rounds. We're going to increase till we have 60. So join with your slip stitch to the first stitch. And you probably guess where I'm going with this. This time we will work 3 times. Singles, 1, 2, not singles. These are double crochets, but I'm saying work 1 into each of the next 3 stitches and then work 2 stitches. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sometimes that's how I do the little counting in my head. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this round, at the end of this round, you'll have 50. And like I said, we'll have 1 more round after that. Okay, so for this 6th round, we need to get 60 stitches in here. So I'm joining to the first stitch with a slip stitch, chaining 1, working my half double crochet into the stitch that we joined, and I will do 4, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6. Work 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, and repeat that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, double up. Okay, so we have 60 stitches. So what you will notice on these squares is that if you can count the chain 1 space across, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 stitches across, and so we are going to attach these, and there should be just enough stitches because 15 times 4 is 60. Now, when I originally made this version of the hat, I attached them, and I thought maybe this would look cute. I went one way or the other. I'm going to let you decide on this next one, but I've talked to my girls, and they would have preferred it if I would have turned it inside out and just left it this way. So that's how I'm going to show you the construction, is to make sure that we have the right side facing out when you turn it inside out. So, but if you want the seam to show and you like that look, I've seen it both ways, then attach your flowers with the right side facing out. But I'm going to turn them over and do it wrong size facing. The other thing I want you to make sure and do is that you're attaching on a row. Put the join row on one of the sides. So before you attach your hearts, you can kind of tell the side that has the join, the final stitch of the row. So I like to keep that on the side. So maybe we'll just keep it. We'll figure out what they are right now. All you're going to do is, okay, so I joined, and I'm going to chain 1. We are now going to attach this just with single crochets. So after you have joined the round with a slip stitch, chain 1, insert your hook into that same stitch and underneath that corner chain and make a single crochet. And then in the next stitch, work underneath the next V and just attach each one of these, matching up the corresponding stitch across, and get these all matched up. So that's all I'm doing, is just single crochet underneath one stitch and then across to the next stitch. Okay, so I just got that one attached right there. Now I'm going to start again, just into the next stitch, find that corner. I go underneath those 2 loops, and then I will start matching up the stitches and go around. So when you're done, you'll just have all 4 of these attached, and then we'll work on sewing the sides together. Okay, this is what you have so far, is that all the sides are attached. And you know, as I've played with this hat, it turns into a circle. So don't worry, after we're done, we'll stretch it out and stuff. So what we need to do now, though, is you don't need to tie off or anything. We are going to turn this over so that the right sides now are facing us, and that seam is on the underside of the hat. Okay, and so come over here to where your stitch is, and now we're going to join the sides with a zigzag slip stitch. It looks like this, and that's what we're going to join right now. So you reach under, and I am going to start in the stitches that are not the corner, We've already worked those, so it's that next stitch. So you know how there's that chain 1 space. I'm going to the next stitch, inserting my hook and slip stitching, and then I'll come and work the coordinating stitch across and slip stitch. Find the next one. Hope my hands aren't in the way here. So you just zigzag slip stitch, 1 on each side, and you keep this, the working yarn going down the middle, and you enter from this back side of the stitch like that and go down. So after we join this, we will be cutting off the yarn, and then we will start a new. We'll have to just keep sewing each side. So yeah, we're going to have some tails to weave in. But we're going to get those sewn together, and then we'll start the brim. So at the very end, I did work slip stitches into those chain 1 corner spaces. So now I am just going to give myself a tail and tie off. And that one is joined together. Now what we'll need to do is just work this side down. So all you do is insert your hook under the first stitch going down. Give yourself a chain 1 and then work underneath the next stitch with your slip stitches. A little bit fiddly at the first to get started, then it works out. Okay, so we'll finish this side, same thing, tie off, do this side, and then we'll start the brim. Okay, so I haven't tied this one off yet. I'm leaving that one, the last one, attached, but here you go. Here's the hat. So cute. Now we'll work on the brim, but before I get to working on the brim, I think I'm going to take the time to weave in the ends here, tighten up my little thing, and like I said, you know, just going to stretch it and make it look circular as, you know, you kind of mess around with it. All right, I have all my ends woven in, everything's tidy and put away. So let's go to where our last join there, and we're going to go ahead and start the round right here. So just working, we're going to do a little bit of increases. So in we're going to work a series of, and I'm back to half double crochet. So we'll work a series of 2 half double crochets and then 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. We want to add some stitches to this round. And let's go ahead and mark that first stitch so that we know the first stitch of the round. Okay, so work 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch and then 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and work that all the way around. Oh, and I just wanted to jump back on here to say that you go ahead and just kind of figure out some stitches to work into when you come up around that join. We don't really need a set number of stitches. We're just trying to add some increase around that brim. So go ahead and work into the base there. Just mainly just keep that the pattern of 2 and 1 and then 2 and 1. That'll just kind of keep our increase really even. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. I'm still working some stitches where we have joined, where the seam is. Okay, so I've made it all the way around 1 round, and now I'm joining with a slip stitch to the first stitch of that round, chain 1, And now just work 1/2 double crochet into each stitch around. And then on the next round, we'll do a little bit more increasing to get a little bit more of that brim. So just relax and just work 1 stitch per stitch to the end of the round. I forgot to mark that first stitch, but usually you'll see that first stitch and then there's the slip stitch and the chain 1. So I know that this is the last stitch right there. So slip stitch, chain 1, there's the first stitch of the round. Join right there, slip stitch, chain 1. Okay, so now let's work 1 more increase round. So work a 1/2 double crochet into the first stitch, a 1/2 double crochet into the second stitch, and then 2 1/2 double crochets. So it'll be a series of 1 1 2 on this round. And that'll give us just a little bit more increase. And then we'll do a regular round and then we'll get to the shells. I just joined that 3rd round and this will be the last round we do before we do the little scallop edge. So just work 1 1/2 double crochet into each stitch around. Okay, with that last round, now we are going to work just a little bit of a scallop. So join, just like we have been doing. Chain 1, and then let's go ahead and just start to the next stitch after the slip stitch and work 5 double crochets. And then we'll skip 1 stitch and slip stitch to the next one. Then skip 1 stitch, work 5 double crochets, skip a stitch and slip stitch, skip a stitch, and then 5 double crochets. So you're just going to go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way around the edge of the hat, and I'll join you at the end of the round. Okay, when you get down to the last shell, you might have to kind of figure out if you need to skip 1 or 2 to make sure that it kind of looks okay when you're joining. So in this case, that's what I'm saying. If I was only to skip 1, I already worked ahead and I realized I need to skip 2 and slip stitch and then skip 1 and then make my final shell about 2 away from the end there. So you just kind of want to play around with it so it looks somewhat even before you join for that last little shell. There we go. And then I just join to that one right there. We'll tie off and weave in this final end. And you've got the cutest little hat. Oh my gosh. And like I say, I just have been work with it and fits so cute. So cute. So that's the tutorial for okay, you guys hat. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for stopping by for the sun hat.